Hello, Howie Bentley here. A lot of you know me as the guitarist and founder of the heavy metal band Cauldron Born. What a lot of folks apparently don't know is that I've given guitar lessons for over 30 years, most of which was taught in the Atlanta area where I attended the Atlanta Institute of Music and graduated in 1989. I now offer guitar lessons via Skype. There'll be more information on that after the lesson, telling you how to sign up. And for now, I'm going to play through an 8-bar guitar solo and going to break it down for you with the thought process behind what I'm doing. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the thought process behind the solo I just played and analyze it a little bit. There are a number of elements to consider when you're planning a guitar solo or improvising a guitar solo, but I'm primarily going to focus on two things here. The two most important is number one, what key am I in and what scales can I play? So the chord progression behind the solo is A minor, F major, D minor, just a D power chord, and then E power chord. All these are power chords, but this is an E power chord implying an E7 chord. So we have A minor, which is the 1 in the key of A minor. And we're in the key of A minor, obviously, which is relative to the key of C major. So we have A minor, F major, D minor, E7. So A minor, C major, the keys are relative, so we can play any of the modes in the key of C major over this chord progression, that being C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and B Locrian. Any of those modes could be played interchangeably over this. If you take the A Aeolian mode, which is the relative minor to C major, or pure minor, and leave out the second degree and the sixth, technically a flat sixth if you're looking at it as a minor scale. If you take out the second and the sixth of that scale, here's the scale: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So we leave out the B, we leave out the F. The second and the sixth, we get the A minor pentatonic scale. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to play is, the first lick that I played in this is from the A minor pentatonic scale. Now, I said the first thing to consider when you're playing a guitar solo is what key are you in and what scales can you use. And I just said all the modes from the key of C major or the A minor pentatonic scale. The second thing to consider is what is the chord being played under me at any given time, and what are the notes in that chord. Well, if we're playing over an A minor, that's implying an A minor triad. That would be A, C, and E. So chords are built in thirds, or in tertial harmony anyway. So we have A, C, E, which is the arpeggio of the chord, and you can land on any of those notes in the chord. If you land on a tone that is not in the chord, it will not sound so great unless you resolve it to a chord tone. Okay, so that being said, the first phrase is going to start on a D note, and I'm going to bend it into an E note. You bend into a chord tone, not on a chord tone. So again, the notes in an A minor chord are A, C, and E. We have D bent up to E, and we roll on down the scale. I'm emphasizing the chord tone there, which is E, and another one, G hammer to A. Then I hit two chord tones together, which will be C and E. Do a slight bend, and then to A, chord tone, D, passing tone, slide to chord tone. Notes that are in the scale but not in the chord are fine to play. You just don't want to stay on them for a long period of time. The slower you play, the more responsibility you take for one note. The faster you play, the less responsibility you take for one note. So in a way, playing slow can be harder than playing fast to a degree. So that's how I outlined that chord there with an A minor pentatonic scale. A pentatonic scale is really cool, but you don't want to do that all the time. So whenever I go to the F major chord, I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to play a mode. And I do, in the solo I recorded, I do some pinch harmonics or artificial harmonics. But you don't have to do those. Those are ornaments. They sound cool, so you can do them or not, or do something else there as an ornament if you like. But, okay, so I'm playing the F Lydian mode here, and that's the most obvious thing to play because I'm playing off the F major chord. You don't have to play the F Lydian mode. You could have, we could have easily played the C Ionian mode over there. It's good to lead off on a chord tone, is why I mentioned C Ionian. See, the notes in an F major chord are F, A, and C. So I'm starting on a C with that. I could go. Just improvise something like that over it. But we're going to play it safe. We're going to go to F Lydian there. And I'm just climbing up the scale. And I'm not sitting on a note, so I don't have to be so mindful of which note is the note in the chord. Of course, the notes, again, in the F major chord are F, A, and C. The way you find those notes in the triad, you go F, not G, F, not G, but A, and then not B, but C. And there's your arpeggio. So we're going up the scale. Now notice here I'm slowing down, and I'm calling attention to the C note, which is a chord tone. I'm going B, C, B, C. Bend the B to a C, release to a B, and land on an A. F, not G, but A. A is the third of the F. A is the third of the F major chord and the strongest note to land on. So when we get to the D chord, again, I could play any of the modes in the key of C major. Again, C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and B Locrian. So I'm working out of the A Aeolian pattern here. But what I'm doing is I'm bending a G up to an A, which is one of the chord tones of D minor. Again, the chord tones in D minor are D, not E but F, not G but A. D, F, and A in a D minor chord. So I'm bending a G up to an A, releasing the note to a G, pulling off to an F, playing a G, passing tone, and landing on an A. And then for the next phrase, I'm just coming down a D minor arpeggio. The arpeggio are just the notes of the chord, right? So we're doing D, F, A. I'm going D, F, A, D, F, A. As I come down, I'm going to put in a scale note, sort of color it, and make it come out right rhythmically, like this. That's the passing tone there. It's in the key, but not in the chord. If you notice it, it's in the F Lydian scale that I just played. Okay, and now over the E7 chord, things are a bit different for that. The notes in an E7 chord are E, G sharp, B, and D. Let's mainly consider, for analysis of this right now, the triad, which would be E, G sharp, and B. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing a pedal point thing. I'm going to tap an E and pull off to a D. So E is going to be the pedal point. It's going to be the note that I return to every other note. And I'm going to start on as well. So I'm going E, D, and then I go E, C. So those are both passing tones. And then I go E, B, which is a chord tone. And I go E, A, passing tone, and then E, and then finally N. I do that, I think, 3 times. And end on a G sharp while I'm doing a trill from G sharp to A. The note that you trill from is the note that's being emphasized there. So one thing changed, what I started to say with the E7 chord, is we play A harmonic minor over that. And that's really just a minor scale, but you raise the 7th degree. So in an A minor scale, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Back to A. So I'm going to raise that G up to a G sharp. Okay, so here you see the 2 most important things in my mind about making a guitar solo are the what scales you can use, and be mindful of playing the tones that are in that chord that you're playing over at the time. Another thing to consider is the motion that the notes are moving in. So what I did there was like a call and response, or question and answer in the solo. Let's say this is the question, and I did it by chord for the most part. So I'm descending this. I'm going question. That's the question. Here's the answer. And then over the D minor chord, we have a question. And you can look at this as the answer. And then we have, the next phrase. That could be looked at as a question and answer in one phrase too. So this one went, for the most part, down, the first phrase. This one went up. This one went up. This one goes down. And then this one goes down. Lesson rates are 1 half-hour lesson for $25, or you can buy 4 half-hour lessons at a time for $80. Hour lessons are 4 for $160, or you can buy a 1 hour lesson for $50. You can go to echoesofcromrecords.com and go to lessons to sign up there. If you have any questions or want to discuss anything with me, there's a form on the Echoes of Crom Records website that you can contact me directly with.